which are hollow slash filled with air. They have fused bones, okay, for rigidity during flight. And the examples are, as you can see here, pygostyle and Cinca scrum. Then we have keeled sternum for flight muscle attachment. Number five being respiration. They're highly efficient. They have lungs plus air sac. They have no diaphragm. They have continuous flow of air, which is nothing but they support unidirectional respiration. Number six, we have circulatory system. They have four-chambered heart. They have complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. How does excretion happen? They are uricotalic. Of course, that means they release uric acid, and there is no urinary bladder. Uric acid excreted with feces, white paste. Now, number eight being nervous system and sense organs. They have well developed brains, especially cerebellum and optic lobes. They have keen eyesight and hearing. They have poor sense of smell. Number nine being reproduction. They are oviparous. They support internal fertilization, right? They lay shelled eggs with a large yolk, and they have parental care, which is quite common in apes. Now we'll discuss about the classification up to subclasses. We have the extinct species, which is also called as Archaeonitis. Their key features are they're primitive, they with primitive tooth, jaws, long tails, and clawed wings, right? And this is the example of it. Archaeopteryx, the modern birds, which are neorthines, or not neorthines, it's neornites, yeah. So again, really sorry about the pronunciation error again. The key feature is they have no teeth, they have beak, they have short tail, and they have high flight efficiency. All of those modern birds come under this category or this subclass. We have superorder Pelagno. Um, sorry, I'm not gonna spell this. I'm spelling wrong for sure. As you can see, it's on the screen. You can see this particular word. Key feature being flightless birds. They are right, and they have flat sternum. Example being ostrich and emu. Superorder Neognath, uh, key feature being flying birds, their keeled sternum, and example pigeon, crow, and sparrow. We're done about the subclasses here, clearly. We'll move on to flight adaptation and birds. Flight is a hallmark for birds enabled by anatomically, psychologically, and behavioral adaptation. Anatomically adaptation, they have streamlined body which reduces air resistance. They have feathers which are light, strong, and aerodynamic. Wings, they are modified forelimbs with feathers. They have pneumatic bones which are hollow bones which reduce weight. They have fused bones for rigidity, right? And they have large sternum with keel for flight muscle attachment. And they have beak. They have no teeth, hence lighter skull. Psychological adaptations, they have efficient respiration, lungs plus 9 ear sacs, which leads to continuous airflow. They have rapid heartbeat, they have four-chambered heart, therefore high metabolism, and they have high body temperature, which aids in quick muscle response. They also have efficient vision, that means they have large eyes with sharp focus. Now we'll discuss about the migration of birds. Definition, migration is the seasonal movement between breeding and non-breeding areas. Okay, this was the definition part. We'll discuss about the types. Latitudinal, example being Arctic tern, description is between poles and tropics. Altitudinal, example being Himalayan monal, description is up and down the mountain slopes. And longitudinal means example being wild ducks, east-west movement. And partial is example being crows, the only part of the population migrates. What are the causes of migration and also the navigation portion here? The causes temperature and day length changes, hormonal control, thyroid and gonads, and availability of food and nesting sites, and instinctual, which is nothing but innate. Navigation. They have solar position, Earth's magnetic field, celestial cues, landmarks, and olfactory cues. Right. These are the navigation portion, and this is the causes as well. Now we'll discuss about references. Raven and Johnson and J.Z. Young says that migration is genetically imprinted but environmentally modified. Now we'll discuss about the flowchart of the entire thing. General traits, they have feather, pneumatic bones, air sacs and lungs, four-chambered heart. Classification is based on all of these types. This is nothing but, of course, subclass, right? As we discussed, this is extinct. Now we have flight adaptation, streamlined body, hollow bones, keel and pectoral muscles, slight beak, and no bladder. They don't have teeth, of course, to reduce skull beat. Migration birds, seasonal movement, Arctic tern, longest route, uses sun, stars, Earth's field for migration. Senses are organs and reproduction, keen vision, internal fertilization, and cleodoic egg. Obviously, what does this cleodoic egg means? They are oviparous, right? And they obviously lay eggs which have high amount of yolk. And yeah, we're pretty much done with aves here, and we'll come on to the last topic, which is mammalia. Of course, that corresponds to mammals. Now, what are the general characteristics of mammals? They are warm-blooded vertebrates, right? They are endothermic. They maintain a constant body temperature. They are covered with hair or fur, keratinized. Okay. Mammary glands. Females produce milk to nourish young ones. Defining feature. Now, the third being the body covering. Skin with sweat, oil, and scent glands. Hair provides insulation and sensory function. Now, number four being skeletal features, single lower jawbone and seven cervical vertebrae in most, three ear ossicles, malleus, incus, and stapes. Now, number five being respiration, they only uh, follow the process of respiration by lungs, only aided by a diaphragm, which is nothing but a muscular partition. Number six being circulatory system, they have four-chambered heart, complete separation of blood between, of course, homogeneous and sorry, not homogeneous, my bad, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. I apologize for that minor mistake here. The only left aortic arc persists, unlike birds, right? Number seven being nervous and sensory system, large brain, especially cerebrum. They have acute sense organs, complex behaviors, and learnings. Number eight being excretion. Of course, they excrete urea, kidney with loop of Henle, which is nothing but concentrated urine. Now, reproduction, internal fertilization, viviparous except monotremes. Now, prolonged parental care and placenta present in most. And this was the general characteristics for mammalia. I think that is over. We'll discuss about the classification or subclass of mammals. Subclass being this Prototheria. The key features being egg-laying mammals, no nipples. Example being platypus and this echidna. Then we have Metatheria. They're pouched mammals and they are short gestations. Example being kangaroo, and opossum. And Eutheria, plancentals. I hope that is pronounced that way. Placentals, right? And true placenta, and they have long gestations. Example being human, dogs, and elephants. We are done discussing about the subclasses. The Jordan and Verma resource classifies 26 orders under Eutheria. Example: carnivore, primates, and rodentia. Right. This is the further subclass division for mammals. Then we have dentition and mammals. Teeth are theocondoned. Set in sockets, uh, heterodont, which is different types, and diphodont, two sets, which means that the teeth are set in sockets and are of different types, and of course, they are in two sets. One being the upper portion, one being the below or downward portion in general. We have incisors, canine, premolar, and molar, of course, ICPM. Now, incisor is for cutting, canines is for tearing, premolar is for grinding, and molars is also for grinding. Incisor, front teeth in all mammals, tearing is prominent in carnivores, premolars is flat and behind the canines, and molars are large at the back. Now, this is the dental formula which expresses number and types in half jaw. Half jaw means it says the number of teeth in upper slash lower. Generally, upper and lower have equal number of teeth. So here, considering two incisors, one canine, two premolars, and three molars.